What's going on? Welcome back to the Gen X Army Vet channel on YouTube. This video is coming out of Brooklyn, New York, where a 12-year-old girl gets deleted because she decided to go subway surf with one of her friends, 12 years old. Um, yeah, Brooklyn, New York. It's not funny. It actually breaks my heart because, I got a daughter that same age. So this is wild. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
The NYPD stepping up to deter subway surfing. Earlier today, a police drone successfully saving two young people attempting to take part in this dangerous act.
All right, just this weekend, two girls were found dead in a suspected case of subway surfing gone wrong. Fox 5's Arthur Chien spoke with the mother of one of the young victims. Arthur.
Steve, Natasha, the Williamsburg Bridge is one of the more iconic parts of New York City, and it drew the fascination of a 12-year-old girl on more than one occasion. But this Saturday, that fascination turned deadly for her, and the first inkling her family had that something was wrong was recognizing on the news her skateboard and purse.
Imagine that. You're watching television and you recognize your daughter's skateboard and her purse. Mind you, she's 12 years old. Why would you be out in New York just running around? You know how big New York is huge at night. Why would you be out? Why would you let your kid even get out that way? That's crazy.
Natalia Rudenko was making breakfast Saturday morning at home
In the
with
morning.
the news on covering the death of two subway surfers. It took a while before she realized it might be her daughter, who was, as she describes her, fearless.
She don't care. She never gets scared. Like me. We go on American roller coaster. She said, Zemfira, I'm not going. I'm too old.
Okay, a roller coaster and a subway are two different things. Roller coasters are built for people that are tall and people who like to flail their arms up. You have space to be able to do that and not have to worry about being decapitated or losing an arm, or, stuff like that. But subway, they have like those railings that go across like different poles, go under the freaking bridges and stuff. You never know because you're on a subway. You're going at different speeds, especially at nighttime. You're not going to be able to see the shit coming at you. But, kids are impressionable these days. They see somebody else do it and, oh, he survived it. Probably happened in the daytime. He survived it. Maybe I could do it. I'm a little kid. I should be able to. No, it's not. It's completely different.
I'm not going. I'm too old. She said, listen, if you not go, you pussy kids.
She would learn it was Zemfira, her 12-year-old daughter. She and a 13-year-old girl met on social media. And according to Natalia, they set out for a late-night adventure. Their bodies would end up being found on top of a subway car that pulled into the Marcy Avenue subway stop in Williamsburg early Saturday morning. She had snuck out of her parents' home in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Zemfira's mother says her daughter had a wide range of social media accounts.
How do you, okay, I could see you can sneak out if your parents are sleeping, but how do you not even notice the next morning? How do you not notice your daughter missing? And you didn't realize until you watched the news. So something may have happened and they got into a fight and the daughter ran away, or, oh, that's what I'm thinking. But I would know if someone leaves out my place at night, especially if my children, because you're always checking. I'll go to bed late too. I'm checking. But how do you not know that? And she doesn't even seem shaken up about it. Shook up, shaken up, whatever. I guess it's lost in translation for the different cultures. She seems like she's either Russian or Cuban, or not Cuban, Ukrainian, or somewhere along that nature. Eastern European. How about that?
I never see her accounts, but I know she was on the top of the
I'm
bridges.
gonna go back a little bit.
Yeah, accounts.
I never see her accounts, but I know she was on the top of the bridges.
So she knew she had multiple social media accounts. She knew she was on top of the bridges and doing shit like that. And today, parents aren't doing, not just women, parents aren't enforcing, strict standards as far as raising their kids.
She was on the top of the bridges, on the top of the roofs.
While the city struggles with an ongoing problem of social media glorification of subway surfing, Zamfira's family suddenly finds itself having to make funeral arrangements for their once vibrant daughter. The latest casualty for a deadly urban fad officials have been trying to attack, yet more than a dozen have died in recent years, despite the best efforts of officials to rein it in.
It doesn't get any more tragic than this. Young teenage girls, it doesn't get any more tragic than this.
Fresh off this gruesome outcome, on Monday, the NYPD's drones helped intercept these two riding outside a train. The NYPD tells us they've intercepted over 130 kids so far this year, the youngest being just 9 years old, essentially saving them from themselves.
9 years old. What the fuck? What was I? 9 years old. I was playing with my Transformers still, back when Transformers were actually made out of real metal. I had Transformers, I had Thundercats, I had some G.I. Joes. We'd be outside for the most part, you know, building bicycle ramps, climbing trees, little tire swing, throwing football, playing curveball, you know, stop and go, red light, green light, freeze tag, hide and seek. That's what we were doing at 9. We didn't have the social media, all this other crap that these kids have today. But these kids are riding subway carts by themselves, 9 years old. How do you do that and your parents not even know? Especially, like I said, in a big ass city like that. You know, the most extreme thing I ever done as a kid, jumping out of a tree. I, you know, took one of the fitted sheets from my mother's, you know, water bed, my mother and father's water bed back in the day. We had a 2-story house when we lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I tried to jump off the roof, you know, parachute like I see one of the G.I. Joe guys did, down to the ground. That was the most extreme thing I did as a kid. And, you know, say bicycle, jumping on a bicycle ramp. These little badasses doing shit like this? What the fuck?
Essentially saving them from themselves and from the dark side of what is being referred to as urban exploring.
We know that the people of Subway Surf, they meet on social media, they get together, and it's not just subway surfing. They're going into the tunnels. They're going to the layup locations. They're trying to get on the trains. They're stealing keys. They're stealing MTA radios. They're trying to move the trains in the layup locations.
Move the trains?
Now, a GoFundMe account has been set up.
Of course,
for
GoFundMe.
Zamfira's family as they are figuring out how to pay for her funeral expenses. They tell us now that her funeral is set to take place this Saturday, and while they're making plans for her funeral, they are canceling plans that they were making for her birthday, which was to take place next Friday. That's the latest from Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Arthur Chien, Fox 5 News. Steve, Natasha, back to you guys.
That's crazy. These kids are stealing the keys and the radios for the subway personnel in the little booths, I guess, within the system. They said they were changing the tracks of where the sub cars go. So how did they get all this stuff? These things aren't manned 24/7, and like, and they're going back further than that. How are these kids not being supervised? Why are these parents are not in their children's lives? Especially now because of social media. You see all the stuff that's going on. If you go back even like the last 10 years, you know, just the news, like social media, random people getting on social media. Like I say, they're so impressionable. Why are you letting your kids have all this stuff? Why are you not in your children's lives? Like the mother said, I knew she had multiple accounts. How are you even letting your children on this stuff? Are you not knowing exactly what they're doing? Like talking to random people online or a group to communicate. Yeah, let's go meet up here and let's jump on this train and ride it like Subway Surfers, the little handheld or your little phone game. I don't see how people get. I don't know. Like I said, these children this day and age, these modern day children, these modern day parents, they are something different compared to when I grew up, you know, in the early 80s compared to how we are now. You know, we got our asses beat. Don't do this, don't do that. Our parents, although I was a latchkey kid growing up, they knew what we were doing. They knew they had that much we had that much responsibility where they know we weren't going to do no crazy shit like this. Like I used to play with fire and I got my ass beat because of it. You know, riding a subway at 9 years old, trying to subway surf, that's unheard of. I don't know. Let me know you guys' thoughts, comments down in the comment section. have you ever subway surfed before? Have you ever tried to go in the tunnels and walk along the tunnels while the subway passes you? You that's crazy. You hear about this stuff all the time. People getting decapitated, their bodies getting torn apart because of doing dumb stuff like this. I don't know. This is wild. But anyway, like I said, comment down below. Let's get the conversation started. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, give me a thumb up, because it's gonna help me in the algorithm trying to get to 4,000 by the end of the year. We see where it goes. Yeah. Until next time, catch you next video. Peace.